Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, everyone. Today's court hearing is absolutely off the rails. We've got a guy who's listed in the official documents as Matthew Aldridge, but the person standing at the podium is playing the classic sovereign citizen card. He claims he doesn't have a name and is calling himself the attorney in fact, which, by the way, isn't even a real legal status in this context. These sovereign citizens always try to argue that courts have no authority over them, but here's the truth. If you're in the jurisdiction, the court has power over you, period. The judge isn't having any of it and wastes 0 time shutting him down. And the best part? The way the judge completely outsmarts him at the end is pure gold. Let's jump into this courtroom chaos.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
I mean, seriously, this guy is out here claiming to be an attorney of fact, and to prove it, he literally just handed the judge a piece of paper. You didn't get to see that part because it was a bit slow, but trust me, the paper quoted some completely made-up law that supposedly gives him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. For the record, real attorneys are licensed by the state and have to follow actual legal procedures, not this DIY, print-at-home legal fantasy nonsense. But that's classic sovereign citizen behavior. They love to obsess over jurisdiction, like saying they're above the law somehow makes it true. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Courts follow well-established laws, not imaginary ones pulled off a conspiracy forum. And the judge here? He's not about to waste a second entertaining this nonsense. Honestly, is this sovereign citizen thing actually becoming more common, or am I just cursed to keep running into these cases? Let me know in the comments.
Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Question. Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you are wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be altered.
This judge is handling this lunatic like an absolute pro. He stays calm, composed, and shuts the guy down at every turn. The whole attorney of fact nonsense didn't even get a chance to breathe before the judge dismantled it piece by piece. You could tell the judge had either dealt with this kind of sovereign citizen stuff before or just wasn't in the mood to let it slide. Especially when the guy started quoting his made-up laws. That seemed to flip a switch. And honestly, the part where the judge said he can't even utter his own name, that cracked me up. Judges are usually pretty stoic and expressionless, but this one wasn't afraid to let a little sarcasm slip through, and it worked perfectly. From the very beginning, it was obvious this judge wasn't going to waste a second on this circus act. And honestly, it just goes to show how pointless and absurd these sovereign citizen stunts really are.
Is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be set, will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go.
Sovereign citizens are truly something else. These are people who genuinely believe they can opt out of the legal system just by claiming they don't recognize the government's authority. You'll hear them ramble about things like common law or the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, all while completely misunderstanding what those laws actually mean or how they work. Let's be clear. Courts operate under federal, state, and local laws that have been in place for centuries and are backed by the Constitution. There's no magical loophole that lets you just decide the rules don't apply to you. Yet somehow, these folks show up in courtrooms spouting bizarre arguments, wasting everyone's time, and accomplishing nothing but earning themselves a criminal record. Legally speaking, their entire defense falls apart over one simple concept: jurisdiction. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their geographic area, no matter what kind of pseudo-legal nonsense you claim. These arguments might sound clever in some online echo chamber, but judges have seen it all, and they're not amused. And just so we're clear, trying to dodge taxes or beat a speeding ticket with these tactics doesn't just fail. It can actually backfire badly, leading to bigger fines or even jail time for contempt or obstruction. Personally, I don't get why people keep trying this. Do they really think they're outsmarting the system? Or is it just some strange form of rebellion? Either way, it's ridiculous and honestly kind of sad. They're not fighting the system, they're just making fools of themselves. Anyway, that's going to wrap up my breakdown for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about the sovereign citizen movement. Thanks for watching. Take care.